The Boys Season 5 Episode 4 just left me completely speechless. I swear, every single episode just gets better and better. And this episode starts off with a complete bang. And no, I mean literally a complete bang. Firecracker comes into Homelander's room and he smells his father on her. Like all over her, he says, indicating that he most likely knows that she slept with Soldier Boy, his father. And also this chosen one thing that Homelander has thought about himself ever since he's been getting these visions has become more than real now. Homelander actually thinks he is the chosen one. He thinks of himself as God, and he thinks that those visions that come to him are basically angels. And if you thought his ego couldn't get any bigger, it definitely did from these visions. Like at this point, if Homelander does die this season, then it will be the most satisfying death ever. Then we get to Ryan, and I'm so glad to see that he's doing alright. It looks like his recovery process is going great. Butcher is also there, and he's talking about Star Wars, calling Ryan Luke Skywalker and saying how Luke winning guns blazing by himself, kind of like how Ryan did with Homelander, essentially relating him to Luke Skywalker and calling him really brave. Now also, this is what I was talking about in my theory video about Ryan, how I compared him to Anakin Skywalker and how his recovery from the Homelander beating will make him stronger for the inevitable fight that they're going to have in the finale. And I predict that Ryan will have a huge role in taking Homelander down, now that he's going to become very powerful. Then we transition to Starlight, who has finally found her dad after 20 years of him hiding from her. Turns out that she also has a brother named Mason, and I'm kind of interested in how this character will develop, or probably die, considering this is the final season of The Boys, but it's kind of crazy to drop an absolute bombshell like her having a brother that we never knew about until just now. Now in this scene right here, I think this honestly confirmed it for me. I think Sister Sage is going to engineer a plan that somehow takes down Homelander, because the way she talked to Soldier Boy in this scene was very strategical. She basically manipulated him by saying that Homelander is heading to Fort Harmony to get his hands on V1. So if he becomes immortal, you and him will spend the rest of your lives together. And we all know how Soldier Boy feels about that. He definitely does not want that to happen, because he already dislikes Homelander to begin with. So I think Sister Sage is socially engineering everyone against Homelander, and at the end, everyone will turn against him, which will then lead to one big battle. Also, Oh Father and Ashley getting freaky was something I absolutely did not have on my bingo card whatsoever. Well, I mean, I knew Ashley was a freak when she got hella excited back when Homelander told the Deep to blow A-Train. Like, her face lit up when Homelander told the Peak to do that. But Oh Father getting freaky, this is something I did not see coming whatsoever. Like, isn't he supposed to be like a priest or something? But then again, these are soups we're talking about, so I guess none of them are actually what they say they are, which kind of makes sense because this entire show is Soup's not actually being good people. Now, what I really want to get into in this episode is the Fort Harmony scene, because we have a lot to unfold here, and I feel like it's the most important part to talk about. So when the boys arrived in Fort Harmony, they started getting into hot shit and began fighting each other just out of the blue for no reason whatsoever. Like, all of them started going off on each other, throwing insults, which was absolutely hilarious. Like, Huey calling MM a was just absolutely cinema, just completely unprovoked, but he let it fly. Then MM tells him that he wants to put him in the dirt. And then you have Butcher over here instigating it by saying, "You're gonna let the nonce say that to you? Like, hell yeah, bro, fight, fight, fight." Frenchie then says there's something wrong about this place, which is facts, because they all just started dogging on each other for absolutely no apparent reason at all. Kimiko also comes out of left field and calls Frenchie out, saying that she doesn't like when he speaks for her. Then we transition back to Starlight and her father, and I really do like this dynamic. It's very cute, and I also like it that her father is a noticer, because when they were talking, he said that he was even more proud of her when she left the Seven, and I think he knows what the Soups really are, that they're actually bad people, but has to put on this act that he hates Starlighters in order to protect his family. But then we go back to Fort Harmony, where Frenchie cooks up a fire theory that everyone dead in Fort Harmony Harmony turned against each other. And he also says that him doing a lot of coke back in his old days made him immune to this virus, or whatever you want to really call it. And when he said that, I was like, hey, maybe drugs aren't bad after all. They might actually save lives in times like this. Obviously, I'm kidding, guys. Please don't do drugs. Then after Butcher spots Homelander and Soldier Boy walking in the distance to the building, Frenchie tells him not to go after them because if he does, they're all going to get killed. To which Butcher was like, okay, you're right. Maybe we should back off. And can I just say something before we go on? Soldier Boy and Homelander cannot get enough of Stormfront. Even before they entered the building of Fort Harmony, they were talking about how they, banged. Soldier Boy was like, yeah, I tapped that maybe once or twice, no big deal. Then when they get in the building, they start talking about her even more. Then Homelander drops this line, which was, okay, too much information, brother. We did not need to know about that. But this makes me think, wait, Stormfront might actually be Homelander's mother. Because you remember in episode 3 when Sister Sage brung up Stormfront as Liberty, Soldier Boy looked at Homelander and Homelander looked back at him like, wait, you know her too? So I feel like the Stormfront being Homelander's mother might actually be true. But of course, nothing is absolutely confirmed yet. But if they're talking about it so much, maybe the show is hinting at the fact that the truth will come out later. But then after that scene, boom, the boys go into total chaos and start beating the absolute hell out of each other. MM is fighting Huey, Butcher is fighting Kimiko, and Frenchie is just over there in the back just telling everyone, yo guys, remain calm, please. Soldier Boy and Homelander are going to hear us, guys, we have to stop. And actually, now thinking about it, Homelander is infected with it too, with how he's always going back and forth with Soldier Boy, but I don't think Soldier Boy is affected by this because he has V1 in his system. Then Soldier Boy stuffs him into a room which looks to be like kryptonite because this thing is hella green. Now, of course, it's not actually kryptonite, but it kind of does look like kryptonite, which makes you really think, wow, they're actually really playing into this Homelander being like Superman. Then Butcher finds him and he's like, no way. Homelander is weak as ever, served on a silver platter, ready for me to kill, say less. But then instead of Butcher killing him, when he's literally weak as ever, he honestly probably could have killed Homelander right then and there, or maybe not, but then he just decides to give him a whole dialogue, hurting him while he's already down. And he actually does hurt him while he's down. While Homelander is already physically weak, Butcher also destroys him mentally too. But then, of course, Homelander turns the tables and calls Butcher's bluff by telling him that he doesn't have the virus to kill him, because if he did, he would have already did it already. Then Frenchie runs into Soldier Boy and completely emotes on him. But he emotes on Soldier Boy because he needs to bait him into Quinn, the guy who is making everyone turn on each other. Then Soldier Boy bashes Quinn while he's literally already down, calling him ugly and saying, look at me now. I might have been the rich entitled kid back then, and you might have been the big strong guy, but look at me now. I am the big strong guy. Then Frenchie's like, please kill him, and Soldier Boy's like, nah, I'm gonna spare him. He's fine where he's at right now, sitting there rotting away for his entire life. Then Frenchie baits him into killing him, to which Soldier Boy then blasts him out of the cosmos. Fatality, Soldier Boy wins. But holy cow, man, this was an insane episode that just gave us so much lore. From Starlight's dad, and now Starlight's brother, to Homelander and Soldier Boy dropping hints that maybe Stormfront could be Homelander's mother. Who knows? But wow, this was a crazy episode.